Welcome to your next lesson, Designing Your Product Packaging. And here's what we're going to cover in this lesson. The different types of packaging options available to you, how to decide what goes on your packaging, how to include product instructions, what you should have already received from your supplier, and how to get your packaging designs created. Now, the different options you'll have available to you will primarily depend upon your product and your supplier. And usually the options you have to choose from will be one of the following: cardboard folding boxes, blister and clamshell packaging, and the one on the left is blister packaging, where it's a cardboard sheet and a small piece of plastic just holding in the product. And then the one on the right, that's clamshell packaging, where everything is encased in plastic and it's really hard to open up most of the times. Bottles with labels, so vitamins, supplements, and liquids. And then the simplest packaging of all, clear plastic polybags. And believe it or not, a lot of products on Amazon are sold with nothing more than polybag as their product packaging. How detailed you decide to get with your packaging depends entirely upon you. It could be as simple as your logo printed on a box, or it could be a custom design print with graphics and wording all over it. Keep in mind, however, that usually the nicer the packaging, the better the perceived value when the customer receives your product. It means they already feel better about it even before they open it up. For example, a 50-cent increase in packaging costs per unit, it could allow you to charge $5 or more for your product, which means it's well worth it. However, simple and clean packaging can absolutely still work well for your first product. Just make sure that you have a high quality product. So how do you decide how detailed to go? Well, you need to consider your target customer, what they value, and then balance that with your own budget. While packaging does play a role in your product success, there have been many incredibly successful products with even the simplest of packaging. Take Apple, for example. While their products are elegantly packaged, their packaging is actually very simple. Next, you'll have to decide exactly what to include on the outside of your packaging. And how do you do that? It's simple. Either head on over to Amazon or physically go out and walk around any store in your area. Look at as many similar products as possible and even take pictures if you want to. That's exactly what I did when I was designing our first product's packaging. The safest bet for you is to do exactly what your competitors do. Except you'll want to add your own logo, brand name, and UPC barcode. Add your own wording, but you can follow their same format. Add any information that's unique to your product, such as color or size. And then add your own graphics and instructions if necessary. Speaking of instructions, if your product requires them, you have a few options available to you. One is to put it right on the packaging. Simple instructions can oftentimes be included right on the outside of your packaging, and if your competitors are doing it, chances are you can do it as well. Now, if you have a little bit more information you need to give your customers, you can create an instruction manual. They can be printed and inserted right into your packaging. In the next lesson, Automatic List Building, we'll cover a service that can be used to create these affordably. And finally, you can also include instructions on your website. You can have text, video, or pictures all showing your customers how to use your product. Once you've made those decisions, there's 2 steps left to getting your packaging designed. The first is to make sure that you have what you need. In the previous lesson, you reached out to your supplier and asked them to send you your packaging options. And if applicable, they should have sent you a template that your packaging designer will be able to use. Those templates will look something like this. The first is a label template for a bottle that might include capsules or liquids. And the next is for a cardboard folding box. If you don't have something that looks like these, you want to reach back out to them and ask them to send them to you. The final step is to find and select your designer. For a professional option, go to the link on the screen here, which will take you to a company called 99 Designs. Now, they're not cheap, and their packages start at $449, but you're guaranteed to have an amazing package design. As a matter of fact, they'll have up to 30 different designers submit their proposals to you, and you'll get to select the best one that you like. Now, we fully understand that not everyone can afford that, and there are some cheaper options that'll still work out well. One is to ask your supplier if they can do it. Many suppliers have access to graphic artists, and if they want your business, they might be able to do the design for you, as long as it's not too complicated. Also, you can check out Fiverr.com or Upwork.com. I know Rich Henderson talked about these when doing your logo design, and they also have packaging designers there, and you can probably get some packaging design done for anywhere from $20 to $30. So the next step, make a decision on which route you're going to go and start getting your packaging designed. Let's recap what we covered in this lesson. We learned that your packaging options depend upon your product and your supplier, and that you can choose to make your packaging as detailed or as simple as you want. It's up to you. You can also get your design done professionally or using much cheaper services such as Fiverr or even your supplier. Now it's time to take action. Go get your packaging designed. Then in the next lesson, we'll talk about the power of package inserts.